In this video, I talk about buying versus renting a house. I'll show you the pros and cons of renting, as well as the pros and cons of buying. And stick around till the end of the video, and I'll show you some good examples of when it's a good time to buy versus when it's a good time to rent. Hi, I'm Jeremy Zargami, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to break down the advantages and disadvantages between buying and renting a house. If you haven't already, click that like button down below. It greatly helps out the video and allows for more people to see this great content. It's my goal to help as many people as possible on this channel, so if you could click that like button right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. And please consider subscribing if the topics of investing in stocks, real estate, and personal finance interest you. Also, don't forget your 2 free stocks. One stock when you sign up with Webull and deposit $100 onto the platform, with that stock potentially valued up to $1,600, and one stock when you sign up with Robinhood. I'll put the links to those below in the description. Let's get into it. I'm not sure about you, but I was always told that renting is just throwing your money away, that you're just paying off someone else's mortgage and helping them build wealth. I was always told that buying was the smartest option. While I'm sure that could be true in many cases, there's still a valid case to be made for renting as well. In this video, it's my goal to lay out the facts for you and let you decide for yourself. This is not a one-size-fits-all topic, and everyone's situation is different. Where you live, your financial situation, and what your goals are will drastically change which option works best for you. Here are some pros for renting. Rent payments are typically cheaper than a mortgage, so you can live in a nicer area for a cheaper price. Sometimes renting comes with utilities included. These could be things like trash, water, electricity, and internet. Renting gives you the flexibility to get up and move with much more ease than if you owned a house. Usually after the 1-year lease is up, landlords will let you go month to month, which is about as flexible as you can get. In some cases, you can negotiate for a cheaper rent if you're willing to sign a longer term lease. So if you're willing to sign a 2-year lease, the landlord may be willing to give you a cheaper rate on your rent. Landlords always value long-term stable tenants. Another pro for renting is that you don't have to pay for maintenance. This is a major perk if something expensive breaks like a water heater, or if a pipe breaks and floods your whole house while you're away on a trip. I'm talking from personal experience on that one. That was a nightmare. But luckily, since I was just renting the house, I didn't have to pay for any of the expenses to repair the damage. Because renting is normally cheaper than a mortgage, you can use the money you save to invest more into your retirement fund, the stock market, or an investment property. Now that we talked about the pros of renting, here are some of the cons of renting. When you rent, you are always being monitored by your landlord. Depending on the situation, this could be a huge burden for tenants who have landlords who are overbearing. This may put a lot of unnecessary stress on you as a tenant. Depending on the renting laws where you live, the price of rent could be increased by a landlord each year and eventually make it too expensive for you to live there. Another downside of renting is that you have to ask permission to do any changes to the place. For example, if you want to paint a room a different color, or if you want to hang something up that requires you to drill holes into the wall. Also, any changes done to the home don't benefit you long term. You don't get to reap the benefits if you improve the house in any way. These are some of the pros and cons of renting. Next, I want to dive into the pros and cons of buying a house. It's important to note that I'm talking about buying a single family house when I talk about buying a house in this video. I don't want people coming at me saying, but Jeremy, what about house hacking? What about investment properties, etc.? That's a topic for a whole other video, and if you want to see a video about that, comment down below. I'm just talking about a single family home that you yourself live in. Here are some of the pros and cons of buying a house. When you buy a house, you build equity. Let's say you buy a house and you put 20% down with a 30-year loan for the remaining balance. Each month that you make your mortgage payment, some of that will go towards the interest and some of that will go towards the principal. The amount that goes towards your principal is what helps you build equity in the house. With each payment, you gain more and more equity. The definition of equity is the ownership of assets that may have liabilities or debts attached to them. Another benefit of owning a house versus renting is living stability. You know that you can't get kicked out by a landlord, and as long as you're paying your mortgage payments, you have the ease of knowing that you won't have to move because of any outside voice telling you that you have to. Pride of ownership is also another perk in owning a home. A good example of this is how you treat a rental car versus how you treat a car you paid for with your hard-earned money. When you buy a house, you have this pride that comes with it. That pride motivates you to take care of it because of how hard you work to buy it. Another great benefit of buying is that you get more tax write-offs. You can write off things like mortgage interest and property tax. Those are some of the pros of buying a house. Now, here are some of the cons of buying a house. There's a big upfront cost to save up for. This could mean you need to sacrifice, which could mean less money for fun activities like traveling, buying the newest gadgets, or going out to eat. Many times homeowners buy a house that stretches them very thin. If this is the case, you may have to sacrifice even more to cover the cost of being a homeowner. This can mean you not only have less money for fun activities, you also have less money to put into other investments like stocks, investment properties, and retirement. If you still aren't sure if renting or buying is right for you, here are some of the ways that you can determine determine which one is best for the current life stage you're in. Here are some examples of when you should rent. If you are unsure of where you're going to live long term, then in most cases it's better to rent. It gives you the flexibility to get up and go if you get relocated for something like school or work. If you don't make enough money to afford the costs associated with home ownership, then renting is your best bet for now until you make and save more money. Renting may be better if you already have a lot of high interest debt. This usually means you have bad credit, which will make it extremely hard for you to get a loan. So if you have high interest debt, pay that off first. If you have bad credit, click on the video above after you get done watching this video. I'll link it in the description below as well. I made a video that will walk you through how to boost your credit score to above an 800, so be sure to check that out if your credit is lacking. Here are some examples that you can use to determine if you're ready to buy a house. If you're staying in the same place long term, a minimum of 5+ years, the longer you stay in that house before selling it, the more equity you'll build in the house, and the better chance that the property value goes up as well. This will ensure that if you ever want to sell, that you'll be getting a great return on your money. If you're ready for the responsibilities of being a homeowner, and you're ready for the financial commitment of owning a home, then it's time to get pre-approved for a loan and find a realtor and start searching for a home. If you need a referral to a great realtor, I have some great ones that I've worked with that I highly recommend using. They will help you get the best deal possible on your home. Even if you don't live in the same city as I do, they'll be able to help you out. So drop a comment below if you need help finding a realtor, and I'll be sure to set you up. Like I said earlier, the decision of purchasing a house versus renting is complex. There are a lot of variables that go into the decision. No matter what outside pressure you have to buy a house, you have to decide for yourself which one makes most sense for you based on your circumstances. I hope that you got value from this video. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It greatly helps out this channel. Comment down below with any questions or feedback. I would love to hear from you all. And be sure to follow me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily. And don't forget to get your 2 free stocks down below. Thank you for watching, and God bless.